What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sierra and I am your friendly neighborhood IT girl. So today we're going to be talking about how much I actually code. So settle in, grab yourself a cup of something bubbly. This is kombucha, not beer, just FYI, even though it's in a plastic cup like a savage. Okay, so I put out a poll. If you guys want to do these polls, they are in the community page, and I asked you guys if you were to create a social media website, software, piece of application, how would you go about doing it? This is what you guys had to say, and I'm not mad at you. Everything looks great. Being a developer, there is no right or wrong way to choose how to develop things. So I think it's great whichever way you want to go about that. However, there are some ones that are a little bit more time efficient than others. So let's talk about how much I actually code during the day and what I do now. Basically, I code very little. I don't really code that much anymore. I consider myself to be more of an engineer at this point in time. I utilize a lot of pre-existing libraries, frameworks, general things that you can just put together, APIs and whatnot. So that is the answer, the short of it. It's just takes me a lot less time and effort utilizing things that are already in place rather than coding from the ground up. Nothing wrong with coding from the ground up. I think it's great. You can get a very customized experience when you do stuff like that. However, it is a lot more time consuming most of the time. However, it is not dead. Let's take a second and talk about why coding is important, why you should learn how to program, why you should learn different languages, and things like that. Because again, you don't have to use them all the time. You don't have to code every little detail every single day. However, being able to code allows you to know what you're doing and where you want to go with your project. So if you know that you need to code X, Y, and Z, it's easier to figure out how to just engineer X, Y, and Z. So assuming you want, again, we're going to use a social media site. Granted, I'm very much aware that there are 1,000 of them. There are way too many. We have enough social media sites, but we just need something to work off of here. So assuming you're going to do that, you know you're going to need a back end, you know you're going to need a front end, you know you're going to need some sort of interface there for people to utilize so that they can do what they need to do on that site. So thinking about those things, you would know how to put them together. Like, what kind of back end do you think would be best? Would you want a relational database, non-relational database? Like, what are you looking for to make it the simplest for your specific purpose? And then again, you can utilize something like MySQL, you can utilize a Firebase, like whatever is the thing that works best for you and for what you're trying to do. So knowing how to code and what each of those things are and what they entail helps you learn how to put stuff together a lot simpler than it would if you just learned, like off the bat, you just learned one database structure. And then that's the only thing that you knew, because you didn't learn the concepts of everything before you dove right into it. Or same as if you were just to learn front-end development. So you just learn front-end for like web, and then that's the only thing that you know how to do. And then that's basically what you're stuck with. You can only have a web version of your application, which is a little bit limiting. So future editing Sierra here, and full disclosure, this is a re-record of a video that I did previously, but the lighting was terrible. So I thought I'd give you guys better lighting, but in doing that, I forgot a whole section of stuff that I talked about. So I'm including that here now. Again, I apologize for the lighting, but I want you guys to have the info. So here you go. These are all choices. It's your prerogative how you choose to build stuff. But I do want to talk about in my day-to-day now that I have a company that I'm, trying to manage on a daily basis. It's not super beneficial for me personally to build stuff from the ground up. What I do actually is I utilize a lot of APIs, a lot of AI, and the actual amount of coding that I do is really very small unless I'm doing one of my own creative projects, something that I would like to see in the world. That does require a little bit more coding than stuff that I'm doing for other people, which again, being a very small business, you work with a lot of medium to small size brands, and a lot of that is working on stuff that already exists. Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, things like that. You're like just utilizing those services and being able to code for those services or manipulate them in some sort of aspect, add APIs so that they work cohesively with somebody else's backend something or whatever. So a lot of it is that, but a lot of the times I use ChatGPT also. It's great. ChatGPT is a great invention. So I highly recommend that you do learn to code. I don't want to try and say that, or I don't want anyone to take away from this that I'm trying to dissuade you from learning to code. I think it is a brilliant choice. I think you absolutely should do it because that's the foundation. Like once you learn to code, you know how to do, integrating APIs, you know how to do other types of coding. You learn other languages, like Wix has its own language. Shopify has the Liquid language. So it's like a lot of different languages that you have to be able to switch between pretty quickly. So yeah, I wanted to just tell you guys about how much actual coding I do during the week, during the day, things like that. It's a lot more of engineering, where you're engineering architectures based on previously existing structures, libraries, frameworks. That's mostly what it is. And but you have to start with learning to code because that's how you figure stuff out. So I love it. Thank you guys so much for doing the polls, and let's be friends. Like, comment, and subscribe if you like hearing about this stuff. So that's what we're talking about today, people. And hopefully you guys have a good week. Other than that, I will talk to you later. Bye.